Boppity boppity. Good morning. How's everything this morning? Hopefully, just jiving cool. If you're watching this as a rerun, everybody, you can skip ahead. And you can do that here at 15, 20 minutes. Probably 20 minutes. We'll get you where you need to be there. So get it done. Let me know if the audio is coming through as clear as we'd like it to be. And all that good stuff. Where is the show at? Huh. Right there. There's the one that's coming through. That's the one I needed. All right. Good enough. Patiently waiting for DPO to come on 550. Thanks, Riley. The raking machine going on. Yeah. I better get phone numbers here. Make sure the phone system is set up here. That's ready. This is ready. And good stuff. Making hay while the sun shines. All right, stations, if you're listening ahead of time, we'll do a 6:50 time check here coming up. 6:50. 7:50. Morning, Dave. Big Dave. 6:50:00. 7:50:00 Central Time. On my clock on. Check. Eric, good morning. Let's see how many bales. It's varying here, but right around 1.5 to 2 on all we have up here is grass hay, mix of crested and brome, and some western wheatgrass in there. That actually, the stuff that had a little western wheat mixed into it is actually running a little bit better. But right around that 1.5 to 2. And that is actually substantially good for this type of ground up here. And so not complaining about it. It's just nice to actually have something to cut this year. You can actually see a windrow behind the swather. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. And of course, like everything else, it's good to be behind. Like right now, I should be baling. When I get done with the show, I got to move some cows, but hopefully it'll hang on so I can get what I have down right now baled up, because we do have chances of pop-up thunder showers coming throughout tonight and Saturday, or Sunday, I should say. Last week when you were talking about radio call names, I got to thinking about Dad's Wolfman Jack. Never had the chance to actually hear any of Wolfman Jack except some replay stuff. But I mean, back when those days, man, the DJs were phenomenal. I mean, even like you take like the Howard Sterns that paved the way for the shock jocks, and the Grease, man. If you ever listen to any of his stuff, I mean, he came up with all this stuff on his own. Plus, those guys back then, they didn't have the computer systems where they could just push a button and everything. They had to like do sound effects and pull carts and put new carts in and do all kinds of things. It was crazy. Waylon Turnus, good morning. Let's see if T Rent is ready to go early. Excuse me. Had a bonfire, a little fire pit action last night. Karen, good morning. Good to have you with me in Murbridge. Mr. Loos, how are you, sir?
I'm fabulous.
And so I'm calling a little early. I'm on YouTube early, so figured why not have you come with me, BS before the show starts.
Okay, I'm gonna go get my headset. It's on the pickup. What have you been up to?
I'm making hay finally.
Yeah, I hear everybody's having a good hay year in North Dakota.
Yeah. I would
Not
say
the case here.
it's they said, Scott, you got to lose some calves in order to make hay. And I lost a shit ton of calves, and thankfully I'm making hay. Because if I would have lost them and still wouldn't have been able to do the hay thing, I would have been looking for a job in radio or something.
Well, it'd be nice to make hay without losing calves.
It would have been.
All right, hang on. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right, that sounds better.
All right. Turn you up just a little bit there, but taking my morning shot, my Saturday morning shot of ivermectin, Trent.
You do that every Saturday?
Every Saturday morning. I'm doing an on YouTube study for anybody that wants to go back and see, as long as I'm in my home studio here. I do one shot every Saturday. Because everybody told me when I started this 2 years ago, they said, "Oh, that's for animal use. That's never going to work. You're gonna kill yourself." The only thing it's done is made my hair go gray. So, cheers to you this morning, Trent.
All righty. Seems overkill. I would think you could do that once a month and get the same effect. But hey, you do you.
I had a doctor call me out of, was it Sturgis? I can't remember. Either Sturgis or Rapid. I'm pretty sure it was Sturgis. Anyway, when I first started doing this and talking about this, and proving that I'm taking it here on YouTube, this I can't remember the doctor's name. I was driving south, heading out to the pasture, had some issues with some foot rot that year, 2 years ago. And he calls me and he is full of, like, he is going to chew my ass out type of phone call. He came very aggressive.
Right.
And it wasn't at all what I thought it was. He said, he told me, he says, here's the thing. He said, and he started naming some auctioneers that do a lot of bull sales up in this country. Like we're talking a lot, $700,000 worth in the year type of, has their own airplane type of person, you know?
Yeah.
And he said he told him what he did is he took the injectable ivermectin and bought those gel caps.
Yeah.
And put them in gel caps, and he gave it to this guy. And he said within 1 week he was back doing auctions. So the conversation ended up him saying, "Good for you. I'm glad you're sticking with your guns and doing." I'm like, that's not at all how I thought the conversation was going to go. So yeah. Everybody has different thoughts on it, I guess.
What do you do, 2 cc's?
Yeah, just shy of 2, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I haven't had any for a while. I'll go join you.
Right on, man. So Todd Mitchell uses me as an example when he talks to somebody like once a week, I guess, some doctor about not taking it, because, you know, within 2-3 months, it's going to completely, you know, do whatever. But Todd's the one that he said the only thing it's done to me is made me go gray.
Todd's a deal. Where the hell are my shrimps? Oh, I know where it's at. My mom was here.
Right where you left it.
No, my mom is here, and she was hiking yesterday. And so she went to Sioux Falls with Kelly. And before she left, I made her take 2 cc's, and then I just sent the syringe with her.
So you do it. Okay, you do it once a month. I got you.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic of once a week, to be honest, but that's your call.
That was part of the doctor. So he was very aggressive with it. He said he takes a gel caplet 3 times a week.
Oh,
And
I don't understand that at all.
I don't either, but he also does 1 dose a week of dexamethasone.
Hmm.
And I'm like, so that's just until, for the first week, and then you don't know. He's like, no, I do that every week. And I'm like, huh. I was like, well, I'll do less than that, but
Yeah, I'll stick with once a month.
yeah. The good thing is, Trent, 0 ticks have been on me. 0.
And you have no roundworms.
No worms, no ticks, gray hair. Perfect. I'm fine with it. Okay.
I would love gray hair.
I think that has a little bit to do with the stress sometimes a person gets under, but that's okay. Hey, happy National Bison Month.
All right, done. I'm with you. I had 2 full because I weigh more than you.
Yeah, I do that in the morning, and I get when I first started doing, I was getting some comments like wouldn't believe on YouTube. They were not happy with Scott Bachmeyer, which is okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine
that's
with
good. I like to make those mental midgets do jumping jacks.
that. Oh, no doubt. What do you got going in South Dakota this month?
Going to Keystone tomorrow.
Tomorrow it is? Okay.
Yep. For the 4th of July, Bridging America. Load up your beautiful bride and come to Keystones at 1 o'clock Monday.
So Monday is already booked, and I'll tell you why. My beautiful bride's birthday is next Thursday, the 7th.
Yep.
And it's during the week, and she works, so she's just going to work, and we're going to celebrate it on Monday in Medora. So.
Well, I wouldn't want to take anybody away from Medora, but I'm not going to be in Medora, so I'd rather you celebrate it in Keystone at the base of Mount Rushmore.
All right, is that where you're going to be?
Yeah, we got to.
Excellent.
You don't know about the event?
Nope. Nobody lets the other radio guy know.
You're out of the loop, man.
Buddy, I'm telling you, you need to get me, keep me informed. Text me every once in a while when you got an event in North or South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, because I cover all 4 of those states.
Last year I did the Arise USA tour.
Mm-hmm.
70 days, 57 events in 37 states, where we were at Keystone on the 4th day of July. And about 2 months ago, one of the people who were on that tour was actually Amanda Radke, who met Dixie the other day.
Yep.
In Bowman. So Amanda said, we should just do a reunion event in Keystone on the 4th. And I said, that's all she had to say. So I got her planned. Kevin Jenkins coming from New Jersey. John Boland's coming from Indiana. Rebecca Cunningham's coming from Texas.
Cool.
Dr. Molly James coming from St. Louis. And just confirmed yesterday, Captain Tom Stewart, United States Marines, 13 years. He is going to be there.
I've seen that on your post. I did see that. So. Yeah. Excellent. So we're going to talk about this as we go into the radio portion of it. There's no doubt about that. So, but yeah.
Also, it's going to be broadcast live on Beck.
Yep. So what does it take to have like you and Amanda Radke like email me updates?
Sign up for my Substack. I just started Substack this week.
Okay.
That's another platform, but it's free until Tuesday, and then I'm going to start charging you. But no, if you sign up now, you're going to get it free. But anybody who signs up after Tuesday, $5 a month.
Where do I go to do this?
Go trentloos.substack.com.
Substack. Oh, radio stations time check coming up here in a little bit. 8:02:30. 8:02:30 Central Time coming up. 8:02:30 and check. Substack. TrentLoos.substack.what?
Com.
Type your email.
Find it.
Yeah. Subscribe. Loose lips.
There you go. You got it. You're going to get an email every time I post something right there, and that's going to be my main go-to.
Okay. Good deal. We have Wayne Moose says, "Good morning, gentlemen. Awesome to have Trent on." So good.
Hey,
And we have another question. We're going to wait until we start the show because we're going to talk ivermectin right off the bat.
When do we start? We start at
7:06.
And then we take a break at 30?
15:30 are the two breaks.
Okay. And we go until 9?
Yeah, I wish. 54:15.
Okay. 10-4.
My father-in-law is like heading out. He's like, he really wanted to have a job this year haying. He's having some issues with his feet and his hips and everything. And I asked him, I have one of those flex rakes where I can put right in front of my baler. And I asked him, I said, how involved do you want to be in haying this year? He says, well, I'd like to try to help, I'm like, okay. So I hooked up the old rake and I'm like, here you go. And he is ready. He's like past the house right now, heading out to go rake hay.
I'll bet he is.
Putting it down, man. So
how old is he? He's
70, 71, somewhere in there.
Yeah. My father-in-law is 82, and every day bitches about what he can't do. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I looked at it when he said that this year. He's like, I don't know how much help I can be, but I'd sure like to be part of something, And I was like, boy, those are big words right there coming from him. So
yeah,
I was like, well, we'll do what we can here. I try not to cut too much down, and so he doesn't have to spend so long out there. It's pretty rough ground out here. 7:05 stations coming up. 7:05 00 8:05 Central Time on mark. 1 minute, Trent. I'm going to go quiet here for the minute leading up to it. So
10-4.
Stand by. Stations going quiet here. Eric, I'll get to yours here shortly here, buddy. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. My name is Scott Bachmeyer. Good to have you along here this morning on great radio stations all across the Dakota Territory. KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota. KOLY, Mobridge, South Dakota. K-Fire 550, Bismarck, Mandan. KCJB in the northern tier of Minot, North Dakota, and KLTC on the western edge in Dickinson, North Dakota. Also, big thanks to everybody watching on my YouTube channel right here at Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Please subscribe if you can. I really would appreciate that. Good to have you along here. It's what a beautiful morning here in the Badlands of North Dakota, and just wouldn't be right without Trent Loos joining me here over Independence Day weekend. Now, Trent, I had some hard knocks in my radio life. Good morning, by the way, sir.
Good morning. I'm ready for your hard knocks. What happened to you, Scott?
All right. So I had some great lessons and great radio influences throughout my life. My very first radio job was in Minot, North Dakota on KCJB, who is playing my show right now. And the hard
knock. They don't play mine, by the way.
They don't?
Go ahead.
We'll work on that.
What's wrong with them?
I don't know. It took me a long time to get on there, too. But my next job was in Bowman, North Dakota. Brian Fisher who finished his radio career in Rapid City, South Dakota, was very influenced. He influenced me like crazy when it came to saying silly things. He was like, don't say this. He was very good about that. Todd Mitchell's great about this too. But Brian Fisher told me it's not Happy 4th of July, it's Happy Independence Day. It is on the 4th of July, but the holiday is Independence Day. He says, give recognition to the holiday. He said, it'd be like saying Happy 25th of December. He said, it doesn't make sense. Give recognition to the holiday, not to the day that it's on, except Cinco de Mayo, which doesn't matter for me anyway. So I've carried that through, and I refuse to do commercials now just because I got chewed out pretty good back when I was first starting out in 1992 on Independence Day. But one of my favorite holidays, I have somebody messaged me, Eric from South Dakota here. He says it was his son's favorite holiday, and it's my favorite holiday as well. So happy Independence Day weekend, Mr. Trent Loos.
Funny you bring that up, because yesterday when I closed Trent on the Loose, which is my TV program on Beck, I had Lori Hintz on because Beck News has just put together China Conquest, the Inside Job, which is an amazing series about the infrastructure of food being taken by China. That wasn't the point. When I closed, I said, and Lori, have a happy Independence Day weekend. And I didn't even think anything about it, but and she just was like, oh, I'm so glad you said that. Too many people say have a happy 4th. It is about independence. It is about what's been sacrificed so that you and I can get together and have this pontification.
Absolutely it is. And she's a radio lady herself. And I hate
not anymore.
I know, but I hate to say this, but when I was in high school,
goodness. She's going to hate for you to say
I know
this,
she will. I know. And I worked with her in Bismarck for a little bit, but that's the thing is, you don't realize some of the influences these people, and they weren't that much older than me, Trent. I mean, okay. I started
Hey, you're talking to Lori now, not me.
I'm trying to back myself out of this damn hole I just did.
Hey, get a ladder, climb out of that hole.
But the name was Lauren Gray, I believe it was her name on the radio. Lauren Gray. So, yeah. I'm going to get out of that.
To work with.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Lori's great to work with. Let you do your own thing.
She does. They do a great job. And, here's the thing I'd like, you're talking about Beck. I'm on the board of for our local broadband company, Consolidated Telecom out of Dickinson. Throughout North and South Dakota, we have one of the best and most extensive fiber optic internet lines anywhere in the nation. And they have done this because of the rural telcos and the rural cooperatives. And I just want to give a shout out to all rural cooperatives, including Beck, that does all these television. And not only that, but they're really stepping out, and they're doing a lot of different type of shows, but they're allowing people to have a different voice heard. And it's really making a change, especially in the Dakota Territory.
Absolutely. It's a leader. It's a leader in the nation and getting the whole story presented. But I want to stop there for a moment,
sure,
and dig a little deeper in something you brought up, because I assume you know that I took a 6-week sabbatical from most of life and helped Teresa Thibodeau campaign to be the next governor of Nebraska, and I was her running mate as lieutenant governor, which we did not win, but it was a very interesting process. And the reason I'm walking you through that, every single stop, Scott, every place we went, and we were 6 weeks in a row, every day, two, three bars a day, right?
Yeah.
Because you're campaigning. That's what you do. You bar hop, just like the founding fathers. That's where you have your meet and greets. Everybody, at every stop, not everybody, but at every stop, somebody would bring up, and we need to get rural broadband. We need to increase our... And I'm thinking, what's wrong with you people? When I'm at home, and I'm uploading, I'll just use the big files that I'm talking about, because when I upload Trent on the Loose from home, it's like 15 gig, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big file. It takes me 30 to 45 minutes to load that. If I'm in a hotel, or if I'm in somewhere in Omaha, if I'm in Omaha somewhere, it takes me 3-4 hours. And I'm like, what are you people trying to do that you're constantly telling me we need to get rural broadband? I quite honestly believe that the internet connectivity in rural America right now, I can speak about the Great Plains,
Yeah.
the Dakotas, and Nebraska. We're better than anybody in the urban area.
Absolutely, we are. Absolutely.
And they don't.
I
They
agree.
either don't know, or they're just trying to find another way to lure us into some trap where they can control our lives.
Well, do you want me to expand on what my theory is, being part of the
Yeah,
board
absolutely.
and the national?
Well, do we have time? It's only an hour-long show, right?
I know, but we're coming up against our first break. But here's the thing: is I personally believe that a lot of folks think that rural broadband means wireless, like satellite, and it's not. You can get it through. You can even get it through coax right now. We can still deliver 1 gig up through coax. We can deliver it through fiber optic, which these rural telcos, I mean, you know, the big companies did not invest in rural America. They're in the cities. So
Right.
what they're trying to do is say we need more rural broadband. But in Washington, D.C., did you know that Sioux Falls, South Dakota is considered to be rural? So it's a different, you know what I
according
mean?
to the federal government, the definition of rural is a community of less than 25,000.
I know,
Are
but
you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. But so that's what I'm saying is they're pumping a lot of money into the bigger towns, bigger cities type stuff, and that they consider rural. And it's different because I live, well, you know, where I'm out in the middle of nowhere here. You know, I mean, if I wouldn't have the internet speed I had, I sure couldn't do my radio shows. Plus, my 3-minute program or 5-minute outdoor program daily, when I go to a hotel in a big city, takes me an hour and a half to upload, and at home it takes 15 seconds.
I know.
So anyway, that's how we spend our first one.
Funny you mentioned that. I know we're going to a break, but
Yeah.
Kelly is in Sioux Falls. Landry's playing in the Ring Neck tournament, softball tournament.
Oh.
She could not watch my Across the Pond yesterday morning from the hotel in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, because the internet wasn't good enough.
Nope. They choke it down in those rooms pretty hard. But anyway, we're up against our first break. Trent Loos is my guest. If you would like to call in and have any comments, questions, just talk about anything that we want to do outdoors, agriculture related, 888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. 888-9-DAKOTA is the number. And you're automatically put on hold. We'll get to your call as soon as we can. Feel free to call in and join the conversation. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues after these messages.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit DakotaCommunityBank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Motrest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7
7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
You know, you can shop at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame online at northdakotakowboy.com. Just click on shop. Find inductee playing cards, special edition pro rodeo cards, mugs, ornaments, and much more. Find out more information on our winter roundup in Arizona in January, as well as February's annual meeting in Valley City. The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, very active on social media. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great winter, and we look forward to seeing you in historic Medora this coming spring. Meanwhile, go to northdakotakowboy.com.
When it comes to picking the right financial institution that best suits your unique banking needs, we invite you to come bank with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks in 2021, we believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our online and mobile customers, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking. Here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody.
I hope you're still around.
Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here on a beautiful Saturday morning all across the Dakota Territory, live and local across the Dakota Territory. 888-932-5682 is the number. It's 888-9-Dakota. And a big thanks to Benny Paulson. Right there is the background music supplier for Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday. Trent Loos is my guest. Trent, do you know Benny?
Benny has not called me for a while.
What?
He used to call me and check in and talk about things, but I haven't heard from Benny for a couple months.
What a talented young man, though, isn't he?
I remember exactly where I was, Benny, when you called me the last time. So get back at it. I was driving past. He must have knew I was in. Well, no, actually, I was going to go out to his place and meet him, and then I couldn't make it work. That's why I talked to him.
He's probably, well, maybe that's him calling in right now. We'll find out here. Let's go to 260 number. 260 number. Good morning. What's your first name?
You guys can't be talking about me on the air like that without calling to check in.
Morning, Benny. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How's two of my favorite people in the world doing today?
Oh, I'm completely sane in an insane world. I don't know about Scott.
I'm completely sane.
Know. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's good to hear you guys' voice all the time.
So what's happening up in your neck of the woods, Benny?
Well, like you say, it's a beautiful day. I'm raking some hay, and I'm loving it. Yeah. I was in Nashville for 4 days earlier this week making some new music for you, and appreciate you playing
Scott or me, Benny? Are you talking to Scott or me? Because you have not made me any music yet.
Maybe I was talking to you then, Trent.
Is it some music I can use for my radio program? Are you giving me the go-ahead for that?
We'll see. We'll see when it gets all said and done, but there's some good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But, yeah. So just wanted to call and say hi, boys, and tell everybody that you're my heroes and how awesome you guys are.
Well, thanks, Benny. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Benny.
You bet. Have a good day, guys.
You bet. 888.
I got to tell you,
what's that?
Scott, I got to tell you quick that it's just fun to talk to people, particularly West River, North Dakota right now, because you guys have had such a drought year after year, and everybody I talked to in the last week, it's like, I'm making hay. And it's just like, this is the most euphoric thing you could have happen. I'm making hay and it's working good.
It is. It is exciting. I even had a water pump go out on my tractor, and it took a whole day away, and I was still okay with it. I was still fine with it. Yeah. Anyway, all right, 888-932-5682 is the phone number here if you want to call in and join in. Trent Loos, 888-9-DAKOTA. Scott Bulgy out of, is that Platte, South Dakota area? He says, good morning, guys. And speaking of which, I'm glad that he messaged me on YouTube, Trent. Did you hear of anything that last week I had a message from these guys saying something about a 30 by 30 land grab in the Platte, South Dakota area? And I was like, well, I have to dig into this, but I didn't find anybody in that area that knew anything about it. Do you know something about this?
44,000 acres the federal government is going to try to take from these landowners in Charles Mix and Gregory County on both sides of the Missouri River. They have some conjured up plan that they're going to pull water out of the Missouri River, put it in a basin, and then drop it back into the river and make some alternative energy, which is just a load of bovine fecal matter. There is a meeting in Platte Thursday night, July 7th, Dixie's birthday. And I am planning to be at that meeting because it's an informational meeting put on by the local landowners, but it's a 44,000 acre land grab. And they picked this area. They say this is the logic. They picked this area because this is the highest land point above the Missouri River. I say that's just a bunch of nonsense. I think that they're just picking a place that they know is conservative, and they know that people appreciate property rights like nobody else, and that's their excuse. And it's a perfect segue into the dangers that I've been talking about. And last time I got to see you was when we were in Dickinson talking about 30 by 30. They won't call it 30 by 30, but it's part of the
beautiful.
It's part of the plan to remove acres from food production and put it under government control. And this is exactly how they plan to roll it out. What's happening right here in Charles Mix and Gregory County, South Dakota.
Yeah. Let's go back to the phone lines here, a 770 number here. Welcome to the program. You're on with Trent Loos. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi. I enjoy your program, and I'm Western North Dakota, and what I want to complain about today, I guess, is noxious weeds along our county and state highways. When are they going to start getting this under control?
I'll tell you what, my leafy spurge this year boomed. I don't know what happened last year when it sat dormant for a while here, but my spurge went wild with me this year. But yeah, I guess.
Yeah, the farmers and ranchers work hard at it, and the federal government and the state. I mean, you drive down these county and state roads. This is sad.
Yeah, Trent, what do you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah. Well, all I know is that I talked about the euphoria in hay production from Mohall to Medora. Everybody then says, but man, I got leafy spurge like never before. Well, I think the accelerated rainfalls caused this problem. And I got one word for everybody, including the government: goats.
Goats.
Right.
Get goats back. And if you're an entrepreneur listening, you should write a contract with the state and the county to go out there and use your goats. They'll pay you $2 a day to take care of this noxious weed problem. Goats love leafy spurge and thistles.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it needs to be handled.
Well,
thank you.
Carrie, I would ask you, what part of the government do they manage properly? They don't manage anything properly.
No, they don't. I know. I agree. But yet they want to take the land from the people that do want to manage it.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Happy Independence Day.
There you go. You almost said it.
I did. Okay.
Thank you, Carrie. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
888-932-5682. Again, is the phone number, 888-9-DAKOTA. Trent Loos is my guest here. Trent, Scott Bulgy says, yes. He says, thanks, Trent and Scott. I'll be there in Platte and make sure he's going to be part of that meeting here. So there you go. Got some more people
to
coming
be in Platte on Thursday evening. I think it'll be a big crowd.
It's only a couple minutes to our next break here before we can get into what's happening in Keystone in the second half of the program, Trent. But this 30 by 30 is not going away, and what's scary about it is the longer it goes, and the more quiet they are about doing this. It seems like people sometimes forget that we still got to be fighting on the county level here on this thing.
It is all about fighting at the county level. But I want to just remind people that we're talking about Executive Order 14008, which was signed by Biden on January the 27th, 2021. It's a 57-page executive order. Executive orders are unconstitutional. This one's 57 pages. I just want to remind everybody that 56 pages of this executive order are about ending the utilization of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And when the day that was signed, the average gas price nationwide was $2.14 a gallon. I just saw this morning, today's national average is $4.85. So do you think this executive order, which also contains a provision for 30 by 30, is making an impact?
It's a huge impact.
You have to get control of this at the local level. You're spot on.
Not only local level, I mean, they're not even hiding this. This administration isn't even hiding what they're doing. They're blatantly coming after what we do every single day out here, especially in the Dakota Territory with fossil fuels that we have.
Right, and I remind people that in 2018, thanks to the Bakken, we were an energy independent nation. In fact, we were exporting oil to other countries in 2018 because we did the work. We built the infrastructure for recovering the oil. We have not really built any refinery capacity. That should have happened. But now we're crippling fuel, and when you cripple fuel, you cripple food production.
I tell you, it's exciting to have hay to put up, but it's not exciting to pay that bulk fuel bill when the fuel delivery guy came through the other day, Trent. So,
did I mention I'm tuning up my horses under harness? I'm getting ready.
Are you ready? You're going all Amish on us, aren't you?
No, I'm just going all survival.
All survival mode. I got two here. I'll talk about that coming up here. Trent Loos is my guest here. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition all across the Dakota Territory. Good to have stations from Pierre, Mulbridge, Bismarck, Mandan, Minot, Dickinson, carrying this 6 states, 2 Canadian provinces listening right now, and around the world on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. We'll be back with more. 888-932-5682 is the number. Get that in your phone, 888-932-5682. We will be back right after these messages.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit DakotaCommunityBank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mulbridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Motrest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pfeiffer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
You know you can shop at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame online at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. Just click on Shop. Find inductee playing cards, special edition pro rodeo cards, mugs, ornaments, and much more. Find out more information on our winter roundup in Arizona in January, as well as February's annual meeting in Valley City. The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, very active on social media. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great winter, and we look forward to seeing you in historic Medora this coming spring. Meanwhile, go to NorthDakotaCowboy.com.
When it comes to picking the right financial institution that best suits your unique banking needs, we invite you to come bank with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks in 2021, we believe that community banking can blend both the past with down-home customer service and the future with modern banking conveniences and technology for our online and mobile customers, all while honoring our long-standing tradition of community-first oriented banking. Here at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here on a Saturday morning, which is why it's a Saturday edition, I guess. Trent Loos is my guest. Good morning. And Trent, we have two people on hold ready to talk with us.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Let's go to the first one. 840 number. Good morning. You're on with Trent Loos. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Trent.
Good morning.
Barry Borg from Valley City.
You couldn't hide from me, Barry.
Hey, Trent, did you get that book that I notified you about, The Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates?
I did, but I haven't opened it.
I know it's tough to read things. Trent, I'm thinking about dressing up like a 1776 farmer and then going to these parades on Monday and just, acting real stupid like, and then asking people, what is this all about? What are you people doing here? What's this all about?
Why don't you
follow me?
Why don't you load up the ponies in Valley City and head over to Keystone and do that at our Bridging America event, Barry?
Hey, I caught your show with the guy from Virginia. That was awesome. And Trent, I didn't make the county commissioner. I come in last on a three-way race.
Well, you present too much common sense to win. I didn't expect you to win.
I think it was the flag on my handout. Anyway,
we're talking, Barry. You're talking about Mac Warner, who's the Secretary of State of
Yep.
West Virginia. Don't want the people
Yep.
of West Virginia to feel inferior.
Yep.
He's incredible. He's a veteran.
Yep.
He's a true patriot and a Christian, and not reserved in any way, shape, or form of telling you about it. He was fantastic.
Yep. Anyway, I'm looking at some federal land here. We've got 2 patches that we graze U.S. Fish and Wildlife land in a wildlife reserve, and it's full of leafy spurge. And I've been told, don't worry about the weeds, Barry. We'll take care of them. And if I spray in here, I've gotten in trouble. I'm actually trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
In this piece that I'm looking at, they kind of took it over about 10 years ago and put up a fence so it could be grazed. And before that, I sprayed a lot of this land on my own. It's called self-defense because our place is next to it. See,
right?
It's what a battle! What a battle! Anyway, I'll let you go.
Get a goat, Barry.
Take care, Trent. Love hearing you.
Good to hear from you.
You bet.
God bless.
Thanks for the call. 888-932-5682 is the phone number here. And let's go to our next caller. It's a 471 number. Good morning. You're on with Trent.
Good morning. This is Holly from Mandan.
Hi, Holly.
And what you were looking at in South Dakota is part of the quote-unquote infrastructure bill and part of the Green New Deal. What they are doing is they are replacing coal, and eventually natural gas and stuff with quote-unquote green renewables. And because they have dammed every river in this country to the point where they can no longer dam them anymore, in fact, they're pulling dams out west, they're putting in what they call pumped hydro projects. And what they work essentially like a hydro dam. What they do is they get as high of an area as possible because they need what's called head pressure, which is the weight of the water to push it through the turbines to turn generators. And when the power rates are low at night, when nobody's using power, they run large pumps to pump the water up there so that when there is demand during the day, they can let water out through the turbines and run it through them. And they don't have any more places to dam on the large rivers, so they're putting projects around the country like this so that when the sun isn't shining and the wind is not blowing, like this morning, it's beautiful. I'm sitting on a loader bucket in my yard right now talking to you. You guys have the power to do this, and we have the power to do everything and run our air conditioners later. So that's the purpose of this. There's a company out of Wyoming, Absaroka. They've got a pumped hydro project going on out there, and they're also working on some large transmission lines like they're working on around here as well.
So, Holly, let me get this straight. They're using fossil fuel energy to run the pumps to pump water up to eventually use that water to what they call green energy?
Well, their plan is that they hope that the hydropower behind the dam at night is what runs they'll let water out of the dam at night and produce more power in that with that to run the pumps to pump the water back up to a storage basin so that when power prices are higher and there's more demand, they can let it out during the day. That's the theory behind it.
Holly, your knowledge on this is incredible, but I predict, and I think it's pretty well known, that there will be a net energy zero. There will be no net energy gain because they will use their own power generated from the headwater. But at the end of the day, it's just about confiscating 44,000 acres of land, not about producing more energy.
So,
and to her point, Scott, I wanted to just illustrate, $150 million is currently being spent, is what they're projecting they're going to spend to break 4 hydro dams in the Klamath River in Oregon and California that was built by farmers in the 1915. Farmers spent their own money to build these dams to produce irrigation to feed people, to irrigate their food crops to feed people. Then they put electric generation through the hydro dams in there, and now they're going to spend $150 million to destroy the dams and the irrigation opportunity for people to produce food to feed the world.
Trent?
Ollie?
That's about 165 megawatts worth of power they're taking out there. I recently read an article when they're done with that, they're planning on taking 1,000 megawatts worth of dams out on the Snake River. And as of earlier this year, from what I saw, WEC, which is the western part of the western grid, is about 4,000 megawatts short of power. Their plan for the transmission line that is going to cross Scott's land is to take wind power and hydropower from here and send it over there. And then the Absaroka that I spoke about, they have a second line that at least they have on the drawing board. I don't know if that one's been filed for, that will come out of Bismarck. I'm thinking the WAPA station on the east side of Bismarck, and also tie into the coal strip substation, which will follow approximately the same route. So, Scott, this is not the last one that's coming through right now.
It's just the beginning of a lot,
Holly, I have big plans for you. Get a hold of me.
Holly, I'll tell you what. Holly, text me, and I'll text you Trent's number, and I'll give you my number. Do you have something to write it down on or not?
Oh,
I'm outside right now.
Okay.
Levi Nelson was one of my students. He can tell you who I am.
Yeah, he's a good kid, by the way.
Yeah. I enjoyed Levi in class, but no, I teach in the energy program at Bismarck State College, and I have for almost 30 years, and I'm involved with Doug and others in the transmission line because it's going to come right across the west end of my property.
Yeah. Well, just find Trent, and I guarantee you, when he says he's got big things for you, he's not
how
lying.
to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Holly,
I know Doug.
Holly, you're at the headwaters of another project we just formed in the last 2 weeks, right?
Oh yeah, I've been at all the meetings, and I'm on the steering committee of the.
Mandan is going to be the site of the Man Parade on Columbus Day. Yes, we're going to have a man parade. You got all these other parades for everybody who has whatever whim in the world. We're going to have a man parade. Todd Mitchell and I came up with this in the last 2 weeks, and we're going to end in Mandan, North Dakota.
Have you talked to Marty?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody named Marty.
I was at the CRT meeting before I went to the transmission meeting on Monday, and I talked to Marty there. So
text me during that meeting.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for the call, and feel free if there's anything you need to get in touch with me and get out on the air, please get in touch with me, okay?
Well, I called about the meeting last week, so I was able to find your number because I can't type fast. So, but I can get a hold of you, or people who can get a hold of me as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You as well, and have a wonderful and blessed Independence Day, gentlemen. From a family full of veterans. So
you bet. Thank you so much, Holly.
You're welcome.
You bet. Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-932-5682 is the number. 888-9 Trent, I have to interject here very quickly. I had probably, when you've been doing radio a long time, I've been at it, outdoor stuff here, and sometimes, or a lot of times, you hear a lot of the negative stuff, right? I mean, you get that, right?
No, never.
2 days ago, I'm in the swather, putting some hay down, listening to some old Hank Williams, like senior some music, right? And my father-in-law is leading a white, I think it was like a Chevy Tahoe, out in the middle of nowhere here on the trails coming out to the fields, and I thought it was like maybe Forest Service or something, that we have to, maybe part of this transmission line that's coming through. Maybe it was the land guy or whatever it was here, but
Right.
it was a couple out of south of Valley City. I think it was like Fingal or someplace like that. Ken and Betty Kovshlowski. They stopped and they came out, and Ken comes walking up to me and shakes my hand and says, "You know what?" He says, "I'm from south of the Valley City area." He said, I listened to your program. He says, "I wanted to meet you in person."
Nice.
He said he was driving through Amadon. He's like, "You know what? I think Scott lives out here." So he stopped at the bar in Amadon, asked for directions. They drew him a map, and he showed up out here just to thank me and meet me. And I was like, that's awesome. I mean, I live a long ways out here, and so that was really cool. So again, Ken and Betty, if you're listening, thank you so much for doing that. That really made my day.
That's what it's about right there.
Yeah.
It's about the people.
Yeah, that blew my mind when I forgot all about it until Holly was talking about that first caller from Valley City. So,
and you'll feel awfully shameful and guilty if you drive through Valley City without going to find them and look them up.
No, I have it in my phone. I hope I pronounced their last name right, because
it sounded like you did pretty well to me.
Well, here's the thing. He says our family name is Germans from Russia, and I'm like, so is the Bachmeyer name. We were Germans from Russia, and then so I was like, maybe that has a little bit to do with it. I can get that. I just think of the sandwich shop, that Schlotsky's. So anyway, what's happening in Keystone, South Dakota this week?
Well, that last year,
Monday, I should say, next
Monday, Independence Day. Last year, I was part of the Arise USA tour, 70 straight days. We had 57 events, faith, family, and freedom. 37 states we accomplished in 70 days. And on the 4th day of July, Independence Day 2021, we were in Keystone, South Dakota, to base Mount Rushmore. We are not doing that event this year, but Amanda Radke from Mitchell, South Dakota, about 2 months ago, she said, we should just have like a reunion event in Keystone. That's all she had to say. I went to work planning it. I've got Kevin Jenkins, my brother from another mother in Newark, New Jersey, who's coming back. Amanda Radke from Mitchell. John Bolin, retired U.S. Marshal from Indiana, is coming to speak. Dr. Molly James, who got fired because she was putting people's health above profits in the COVID era. She's from St. Louis. She's coming. Just yesterday confirmed Captain Tom Stewart, 13-year instructor pilot for the United States Marines. He's coming. His last day as part of the Marines was this week, June 30th, because he refused to take the death jab. Teresa Thibodeau is coming. She was running for the Nebraska governor. I was running as her running mate. She is going to talk about education, because at the end of the day, I don't think of all the federal intrusions we have taking place, anything is more important than what's happening in our school system. And the state of Oklahoma is taking a stand and telling the federal government, we don't care what your money is. We're not going to do what you say from a nutrition standpoint. We're not going to do what you say from an educational standpoint. We're not going to teach sex education to kindergartners. And that is what Teresa is going to focus on. But the event is Bridging America, because I want to stop talking about red counties, blue counties. I want to talk about red, white, and blue counties, and work together with people who we've typically not had conversations with, and try to find unity, because food security is a major issue. It's coming to a town near you soon, and we are going to provide solutions on what you can do to avert that.
And this is on Monday,
Independence
Day, which is held on July 4th, 1 o'clock. And
and I want to also mention that Benny should be there. By the way, I should have told Benny he's yet to prove me wrong. Last time we had a conversation, he was going to prove me wrong on something. I'll let him deal with that. But he should have be at Keystone. Alan and Jill Kirkham, who are local in the Black Hills area, are going to start their music performance, their singing show. Wonderful, spiritual, just great Christians, and they're going to be there at 12:15. So from 12:15 to 1 o'clock, they'll be putting on their music show at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. Our program begins. And if you can't make it to Keystone, I'm not telling you don't come, but if you can't make it to Keystone at 1 o'clock, the program will be broadcast live on Beck News.
Perfect.
So check it out, becknews.com, or turn your TV on.
That's right. And I get a text that says, most mornings I have my coffee and biscuit listening to Trent across the pond. And Saturday mornings, listening to Scott. every community needs an Amanda Radke in their community.
I agree 100%. Hey, Scott, I got a little bit of news that nobody knows yet.
Okay.
Now you and your listeners are going to have it first.
Ooh, I get first dibs. All right, let's hear it.
You do. Across the Pond, which was just referenced by that text, is going to start airing live on Beck News probably July 7th. Can you believe that? Everything's
Dixie's
July
birthday.
7th. At 6:35.
Yeah.
Live across the pond on Beck News.
Excellent, man. That's excellent. Once again, rural telcos helping shape the area, man. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. So, well, 2 minutes before we let you go here, Trent, what say you? What does Independence Holiday mean to Trent Loos and family?
It means that so many people have made sacrifices that we cannot relate to in today's world. They've made their sacrifice. If we want to maintain the independence for our kids and grandkids, then I ask you to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing today? What am I going to do tomorrow to make sure that these kids have every opportunity that we had?
Mm-hmm. You know, the best independence interview I ever did, I had one of my high school buddies, his dad was in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Charlie Miller on my program, and very rare that you get somebody that was in Vietnam talk and tell stories, but he opened up, man. And it was an afternoon program. I think it was like a 2-hour program. And he started talking about, some pretty gruesome things that he's seen and did. And you should have seen how many phone calls we got from veterans that were in Vietnam that started calling and telling stories. It was it was probably one of my most favorite shows I've ever done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why I had you on here today, get you kind of a agricultural feel, because we're making hay, baby. You know, sun's shining, make hay when the sun shines, right?
I know. Speaking of veterans, I should include that the Wall of Honor will be present at our event in Keystone Monday, and that's been popping up all over North Dakota. I was sitting in Rusty's, to be honest, and I saw this screen with all this stuff going on and featuring these local heroes, these veterans.
Isn't that
who
cool?
Have contributed. I said, who's doing this? What's going on with this? So the Wall of Honor will be at Keystone at the Bridging America event. We've got a 50-foot screen coming with the Wall of Honor. That's what it's about, Scott. Those people who've sacrificed so much. It's our time now.
Yeah, it is. I appreciate it. Trent, thank you so much for coming on the program. And stay with me here for the After Hour show on my YouTube channel. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure, eat some meat, drink some milk. Have yourself a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. All right, radio stations, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Have yourself a great day. Trent.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it, and taking time out of the weekend and Saturday morning to do that for me. One of the rare live shows still going on is mine. Everything else is pre-recorded now on weekends.
Yeah, nobody wants to work on weekends.
Nope. And sometimes,
me included, I don't want to do any radio on weekends because I talk to my computer the rest of the week. So
yeah. Well, thank you again. Have yourself a great Independence Day. Dixie told me to tell you to say hi.
Hi, Dixie. I miss you.
Yeah, she's out on her run right now. So.
All right.
But I'll tell her that, and
tell her that she's not going to get me doing yoga.
Oh yeah, she will.
All right.
Yes, she will.
We'll see.
All right. Have a good one, man. See ya.
See you, Scott. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the YouTube side, thank you for hanging with me, and hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends to hit that as well. And the more subscribers I get, I think the better it is. So, have yourself a good one. And if you're listening here, do I have that on tape? I do not have that. That was before I realized I should record everything. Have a good day. Enjoy Independence Day on Monday, the 4th of July. I agree with you, Gene. I did need 2 hours, but I don't think anybody, including my wife, wants more than an hour of me. So have a good one, man. See ya. I got to head down that way fishing one of these days, but I got to get the hay made first. So see ya. End stream.